What's up YouTube, Chronos here, and welcome back to another PSO2 video. With the recent completion of NGS Closed Beta 1 dropping tons of information for us, and the updated mission badge shop, a new question pops up. Is making Guardian Soul really worth our time? In today's video, we're going to talk about where it may be worth your time, or where it may not be worth going into. So, to start this conversation off, we need to first understand what Guardian Soul is, and how it's made. Guardian Soul is a single augment that provides 70 all stat, 70 HP, and 7 PP. In short, it's basically twice as strong as Astral Soul. Now here comes the annoying part, how to make it. Not only do you need Astral Soul, but you have to combine that with Aether Factor, Mana Reverie, and Absolute Glare. And to make each of those requires their own recipes of Factor Catalysts, Soul Catalysts, Glare Catalysts, Reverie Catalysts, and all of those have their own recipes, which I forgot to mention have a very low success rate of about 10% at base. You can start to see why most people don't even want to bother with augmenting something like Guardian Soul when it requires so much effort to put together, and honestly, I don't blame you guys. It's a huge pain, not to mention the possible costs, and all that for it to transfer into NGS with not that much power in the grand scheme of things. I'll be real with you guys, as I'm writing the script for this, I'm sort of talking myself out of making it, because it's pretty buff in PSO2, but in NGS it looks much weaker at first glance. It is still double the stat benefit versus the lower souls, but when you put it into percentages it doesn't look as great. However, with the augment transfer system, 4 slot protections, the updated mission badge shop giving us 4 out of 5 of the caps we need, suddenly making Guardian Soul isn't as difficult as it's made to look, though it's still very annoying and requires some planning. So why bother making it at all? Well, that falls back on two things. First, how much do you play PSO2, either at a high level or at all? It's a common thought that you have to be a great player to want great gear. Honestly, some of the best augmenters I know don't even play at that high of a level, and vice versa. Some of the really good players that I know are total papegas when it comes to augmenting, so those ideas don't equal each other. But getting back to the topic at hand, the second thing sort of relates to the first, and how are your resources, and are you getting the things you really want that are going to transfer into NGS? A commonly used phrase when talking about NGS is, don't bother augmenting in PSO2, and NGS, it's not as strong, and fashion is more important. While that phrase isn't incorrect, if you have every bit of fashion that you really want, and still have plenty left over, hoarding money really does nothing for you. NGS has an entirely new currency, so unless you're saving for an old fashion that you missed and want an NGS, money is basically worthless to you if you have all the fashion you want. And to be honest, if you've been playing consistently, especially on global, you most likely do. The only thing I'd be concerned about is the Star Gem support scratch, as Star Gems do move into NGS, and if you want to save up as much as possible, it's totally understandable. If you're not sure what I mean, basically there's a support scratch that has capsules in it that are really good for augments you normally use to round out your Guardian Soul units. So what's the final verdict? Should you make Guardian Soul units or not? To be honest, if you planned ahead of time, have the resources and time, and you have everything you want in the game moving towards NGS, there's virtually no reason not to get the increased power in base PSO2. The game won't end when NGS comes out. Coming back to PSO2 is something we'll all likely do at one point or another, and having the extra power will make it even more fun, not to mention using it now while we're waiting for NGS to come out in the first place. However, if your time is split with other games, you don't play as hardcore so your resources aren't as buff as others, and you really don't want to spend any time augmenting or burn any star gems at all, then don't do it. It's really not going to make or break your experience. Completely off script, but I totally plan on making a video where I show that you can use all of the benefits of the augmentation transfer system along with the upgraded mission badge shop, and with setting up a couple of extra augments ahead of time, and make yourself really strong units that don't even use Guardian Soul, and they aren't difficult to put together. As of right now, the game's level cap during beta was 15, and most likely will be either 30 or 50 on release. Of course, these are speculations based on previous games, meaning you will replace that gear in NGS by your midway point in leveling unless we really hang out around levels 15 to 20 for a long period of time. Definitely, and I do mean this, do not make Guardian Soul if your only motivation was to use it in NGS. I can say wholeheartedly that that is not worth it at all. So now that my opinion on the actual take in this video is completed, let's hear your side of the story. You guys plan on making Guardian Soul? Are you still saving up for some fashion that you need in NGS? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And as always, be respectful. If you're not, probably just gonna YouTube global mute you, so you're gonna be talking into the void and no one's gonna hear you. Or if it gets too serious, we'll probably just delete the entire conversation altogether. That way people don't have to deal with that sort of thing. I hate having to say it, but just be generally decent people. Like somewhat decent. I'm not talking about like full on decent, but just a little bit. A little bit would be nice. And as always, a like on the video is much appreciated and absolves you of half your ad block guilt. The other half is absolved by subscribing. Both are completely free and do help me out a ton. If you guys want to keep up with the content, make sure to click on the bell icon to be notified of videos as they go live, as well as on my community posts. Or if you want to be able to communicate with me directly, feel free to join us over on Twitter or follow me over on Discord for notifications via those avenues. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Peace out.